Well, we're in the Stone Cottage studios today with Sarah Slaton and Sarah Joelle. So nice to have you two with us.
Thank you for having us.
How are you? How are things going with you these days?
Pretty good. We're hanging in there, staying at home a lot with our pup and making music and watching a lot of movies, including the Marvel Universe in order right now. So a little bit of extra time.
That's great. Well, we're excited to hear some of your music. We have a few songs that you're going to play today. We're going to talk a little bit about your music, what motivates you, what inspires you, and look forward to hearing these songs. So why don't we start off with your first song? The title of that one is what?
It's called Ghosts in This House, and it is a track that I put out in 2018 with my band Edison that I was with from 2014 to 2018. Our final EP was called Lion's Heart, and this is my favorite track from that and just one of my favorite tunes I've had the chance to write.
That's great.
See the shadows move between the trees, but you know, well, it's ghosts. And in the night you hear them scream. They're always haunting up your dreams, but you know, well, it's ghosts. You've got to learn to lead when the demons come dancing, 'cause you know, well, it's ghosts. You know, well, let's go. And there's ghosts in this house. They're haunting me now. Oh, oh. And there's ghosts in this house. They're haunting me now. Oh, oh. No. Ghosts in this
So what a great song. What are the inspiration behind that last track?
Actually, thank you for asking that question. The first EP that I put out with Edison was called Ghosts, and my mother had passed away in 2010, and a big reason why I started the band was a way to deal with that grief, and songwriting for me was a cathartic outlet for all that pain. And so there was a song on the first record called Ghosts, and it was really about loss and being in the middle of that grief. And then when I put out the last album, I did kind of like a sequel song, and that's what this song was. And it's more about celebrating the people that aren't with us anymore and learning how to dance with the spirits versus see it like, I think maybe I saw it as a shadow before instead of something that I walk with now. And that really was an evolution of my own experience in those two songs, which was, interesting to write. But then, as a listener, I have people come up to me that similarly, have gone through grief, and I think have identified with those tracks in particular.
Yeah, I know that both of you, both Sarahs, are singers and songwriters, so it's always great to talk and understand and get a feel for what motivates you as songwriters and what influences you as musicians. It's great to have keyboards in here today. First time in the studio for keyboards.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I feel honored.
Yeah, so what are your musical influences?
I'll let you start that one.
Me? Very different backgrounds, actually, in music. I've been singing since I was in kindergarten. I was in choir since I was a little tiny thing. I actually did professional musical theater for a long time, and that really started off my love for music. Later, moved on to college, and I actually went to the University of Denver for Lamont School of Music, and I was a jazz student. So did the classical thing, did the jazz thing, and then now I'm in a reggae band, and none of it makes sense, but it all makes sense in the end, I guess.
It makes total sense. Don't question yourself, girl.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was an athlete my whole life, actually. I always loved music. Both my parents were big music heads, raising me on all the good stuff, But yeah, I picked up a guitar when I was 17. I had sang only at church. I was raised in a denomination of Christianity where they didn't allow instruments inside the church, so everything was a cappella. So I learned about like different sections, like soprano, alto, tenor, just by accident, not by design. And then my sister went to college and left a guitar, a little Taylor, baby Taylor, in her closet that she had just never played. And I picked it up one day and I was hooked, and I think 6 months later I played my first open mic, and I'm so sorry to anyone that was at that. But here, 16 years later, it's consumed all of my life since. So
That's
yeah.
great. Well, I know you two are both from Fort Collins as well, and what a great town. Love Fort Collins. We're here in Boulder, also another great music town, but it's impressive and beautiful what's happening in terms of the support for musicians, and we want those venues to come back, and they will. So thank you for coming down the road to Boulder. I did want to talk a little bit about Folkco and your involvement there, and you're doing some really cool stuff we were talking about earlier. I'd like to share it with
Of course.
everybody.
Thank you for asking about that. So whenever COVID-19 happened, it was all very quickly, and everyone I knew was having their tours canceled, their shows canceled. They were flying back to Colorado from all over the country, and really it was just a big question mark hanging in the air for everyone. I mean, it still is. But within the first few days, my friend Michael Kirkpatrick, who's in the band The Holler, had put up a post on Facebook saying, what can our music community here in Colorado, and specifically Fort Collins, do together? We got on the phone together, and within an hour had come up with the concept of the NoCo Live from Home show. And it is a live stream showcase that features 8 Colorado artists every Saturday, and the artists are able to make money from a virtual tip jar, and that money goes directly to them via Cash App or PayPal. So it's been a way for some of our friends and fellow musicians to maybe offset a little bit of the losses. Maybe it's not much, but it's something. And speaking of the community that supports us, I've had a rotating craft brewery each week, so we've been able to highlight craft brewers and get the band's free beer, which if you know musicians, they love to have free beer. And Raising Cane's Chicken got behind it and is giving them free meals. And we've had just tons of support from the community. And then we added a music education portion on top of it. It airs as a pre-show to the showcase every Saturday morning, and it's a music industry panel so that maybe during this time, of not having shows or tours, and it's kind of a rebuilding time and strategizing time. I'm hoping that we could bring some insight and music education programming to musicians in the meantime. So it's all live streamed on Saturdays, and it's become, I think, a little bit of a live stream staple in Fort Collins, and I'm really proud of it and continuously surprised by its growth.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Staying busy, doing some really cool stuff. So
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Well, let's go into your next couple of songs, maybe back to back, and then we'll talk on the other side of those.
Okay.
Well, this next song will be a slow version of the last single that I put out. It's called Dance in the Sun, and it's a song just about cheering yourself up when things get hard.
You've been having those bad dreams, always running from something, and all the graves keep filling. Dance with the dead, not living, breathing. It ain't so easy. You've been walking a tightrope, lost on a wire without hope. Lift your head, don't let go, let go, let go. Ooh. And hold on, my love. And ooh, hold on, my love. With you, I wanna dance in the sun. Dance in the sun. Pulling your weight with a tried soul. If you're the moon, this is Tycho. Now fight for those in the cosmos. Lift your head, don't let go, let go, let go. In the sun, with you, oh you, I wanna dance in the sun. Lift your head, don't let go. Lift your head, don't let go. Lift your head, don't let go. And lift your head, don't let go. Lift your head, don't let go. Lift your head, don't let go. And don't let go. And hold on, my love. 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 With you, I wanna dance in the sun. With you, oh you, I wanna dance in the sun. We'll dance in the sun. Dance in the sun. With you, oh you, I wanna dance in the sun. to go. Wake up and everything's changing. You can't keep going. You know you can't stay. Run home with open arms to hold. Love will guide you north for now. But it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Do I call it a day? There's nothing to say.
Wow, Dance with the Sun. That's been one of my favorites of yours. And it's so great to hear you guys play it in the Stone Cottage studios.
Thank you.
And the last song that you did, Time to Go. So this is a new song. It's not on SoundCloud. It's something new you brought to us here. So let's talk a little bit about that song.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've never played it for anybody. We've played it at a couple shows. It's still in a bit of the evolution process, but pretty much done. We won't know, when you go in the studio and you get to play with all the different tools and get inspired. So we'll see where it ends up when it lands on a record, but it's a song that I wrote on the very last tour I did with my band Edison, and I was reflecting on the fact that we had traveled hundreds of thousands of miles and played 500 shows, and from the nobody but the bartender there till we got to play a sold out Red Rocks, and it was just everything in between. And the culmination of all those feelings kind of hit me right before our last show together. But we all knew it was time to go, and it was time to move on. And I think regardless of what the situation is, sometimes it's okay to walk away, and it's okay to know when it's time to put something to bed. So I think that song for me is just kind of a beautiful goodbye song.
Yeah, well, it was beautiful for sure. Yeah, so great having you here. What's next for you guys? What's happening this summer?
My reggae band, I'm in a reggae band called Lola Rising, and we actually just released a new album on the 24th, so a week and a half ago. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all the platforms.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
I've
so
been busy.
good. It makes you forget you're landlocked if you're in Colorado. It's very beachy, and I just love dancing to it every day. It's really fun.
It's a party.
That's great. That's great. I'm going to look that up
Yeah.
and take a listen tonight for sure.
Please do. It's called Moving Forward, and it was kind of an accident that we called it that. And the whole idea of the album was moving forward and staying together during hard times, and it all happened before everything. So it's kind of serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then this summer for the two of us musically, continuing to write for an EP that I'm hoping to put out before the end of the year. Also, we're doing a thing I never thought I would do. We're doing this like a Zoom live stream co-writing session actually with some folks from different countries, and it's like this hodgepodge group. So we're doing some new co-writing and doing sessions online, kind of, which is becoming the new normal. So yeah, writing and then taking just all the material we have and finding the right producer and starting to work out the songs, which, as you know, is a tedious process before you ever, hit record. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's part of the creativity we're seeing, bringing people in from their virtual home studios and playing together, and it's sounding good. But also, to your point, it's something that's come out of this, and it's a real opportunity to be efficient and be creative together as songwriters, as music producers from different locations. So that's great to see. Well, I want to thank you again for coming into the studio today, and for all of us at the Stone Cottage Studios, we thank you for that. Well, that's a wrap for today. Stone Cottage Studios with Sarah Slaton and Sarah Joelle. And check us out on YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel, and subscribe. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. So share what we're doing with your fans, your followers, and we will see you down the road.